Alright, well we are live and I am in the right spot. Just wanted to double check really quick. This is Jennifer Davis and this week our continuing education is on traveling with oils. I thought this was really important and I get asked a lot about traveling with oils this time of year, so I thought what better than just to have a video on it. So anyways, I don't have anybody joining me just yet, so if you're listening to the replay, I'm going to take just a couple of minutes. I'm going to grab me a drink of water real quick and then we'll get started. Okay. Alright, so like I said, tonight we're going to talk about traveling with essential oils, and this is the time of year that everyone is road tripping or flying somewhere, and so I get a lot of questions about essential oils and traveling. And so this video will work no matter what time of year it is, obviously, but it's summer and this is when it happens more. Okay, so I actually have 3 aspects. And I sat down to take notes, and then I just stopped taking notes. So hopefully I'll give you all the information that you want to hear. And if you're joining me, make sure you say hey, so I know that this video is working. So we're going to talk about 3 things when it comes to traveling with oils. We're going to talk about road trips, so in the car. We're going to talk about plane, and for those of you who love to rough it, we're going to talk a little bit about like hiking and like when you're outside and maybe you need to like conserve. So here's what we will, and actually I forgot something. Let me think. I don't have it very close, so I'll just describe it. So first let's talk about plane, okay, because this is where there's probably the most you know, concern, because everyone's afraid their oils are going to be taken away from them. And so I just want to put your mind at ease that your oils can most definitely travel on the plane. If you're checking your luggage, there's no rules. You can put them in your luggage. Of course, you probably want to make sure they're sealed, because sometimes, you know, things expand on, you know, down below the plane. So you just want to make sure that you have them all sealed up, just like you would like your shampoos and your soaps and stuff. So let's talk about carry-on. And so there are some laws. The TSA has a liquid law, and basically what it is you're allowed to have a quart-sized bag. It doesn't say it has to be a plastic bag or anything. This is actually the bag that I carry, so I mean it's probably about that size, and I've never been stopped. So, and I'll open this up here in a second. So a quart-sized bag of liquids, you're allowed to have 1 per passenger. So if you have a carry-on and you have 3 children, it's not you and, I'm sorry, per carry-on, okay? If you have 3 kids, you can have 1 quart-sized bag in your carry-on, and then if there's somebody else that has a carry-on, they can have another quart-sized bag. So that's the rule. And you can't have anything bigger than a 3.4 ounce. So what is a liquid? Well, if you can wipe it, smear it, drip it, or rub it in, then it's a liquid, okay? So if you can do any of those things, then you know you have a liquid. So let me give you some examples. And it's kind of far away, but hopefully you can see it. I've got a list of things, or a bunch of stuff over here that you would normally take with you on the airplane. So I'm going to grab this. I'm going to bring it just a little bit closer so you guys can see what I got here. So here's some things that you would take on an airplane, maybe, or that you would take with you when you travel. So you can have maybe your Deep Blue rub, maybe your lotion, some coconut oil, that kind of stuff. And so let me just break it down for you. So 3.4 ounces. So that means you can take your small lotion. This is 2.5 ounces. Okay, so that's okay. You can take that in your carry-on or in your purse when you go on. If you have Deep Blue rub, okay, this is 4 ounces. So that's over the limit. You can't have this. They'll take it away from you. If you have a big thing of lotion, they'll take that away from you because that is 6.7 ounces. That's not okay, but you can have Deep Blue packets. You could have 100 of these as long as they fit in that quart bag. You're good to go. You can't have your toothpaste tube, but you can have your toothpaste samples. Those are okay. You could have 100 of these. As long as they fit in that quart bag, you're good. Your coconut oil, okay? This one is really close. It's 3.8 ounces. You can't have that, but you can have your little eyedropper full of coconut oil. You could have 10 of these full of oil, and you can use that just fine. Your On Guard hand sanitizer, okay? That's good. You can have that on the airplane. You can't have big bottles of shampoo, but you can have the shampoo packets that you have. You can have a lot of these as long as they fit in that quart bag. So I just want to remind you, this is for carry-on, not checked, okay? You can have all those big things. If you have Deep Blue and your big lotion, your coconut oil, you can bring that stuff onto your checked bag. That's the bag that goes under the plane, okay? They don't care about that. And so you're good to go. So now let me show you what I take with me when I am getting on the plane. And actually this applies to all trips for me. This is just the bag that I travel in. When I leave the house, this is in my car, this is in my purse, this is in my backpack. Like, this is the bag I take. So you can order little bags like this. It's just a little zipper bag and it opens up like that. You can order those, gosh, you can even get them on Amazon. This one actually I got from doTERRA a long time ago, 2013. This one's been with me for a really long time and it smells so good. But you can order these on Aroma Tools, My Oil Life, Amazon, and they're a little stiff at first, but once you get used to it and you break it in, then it works really great. So this one actually holds 10 oils. You can hold big bottles if you want. I have roller bottles in here that I make. So in this bag, you can have like your top 10 oils that you can't live without. For me, I almost have like a family essentials kit in here, which is the 10 most popular oils that people start with. But there's some I don't use often, like oregano. I hardly ever use that when I leave town. So I have some balance in here. I have orange instead of lemon because it's the one that I prefer. I have some coconut oil for those times when my kids get into my oils, or like the time that I was driving down the road and had a headache and I put peppermint on and it got in my eye and I needed some coconut oil. I have Digest-Zen. Just as a side note, you never want to leave your house without Digest-Zen. Whether it's a plane, a car, hiking, like I don't care what it is that you're leaving the house for, get your Digest-Zen. Make sure that bottle is pretty full because that's going to be for moments of tummy upset, motion sickness. For me, it's the airplane going up and down. Gosh, I just get so sick. And then what's really cool is in the middle of this bag, there's a lot of space to keep stuffing oils into. I have gotten probably 20 oils into this bag. So it's pretty stretchy because it's kind of used to me doing that. So that's the bag that I use, and this is the one that I take with me when I am flying or driving. Now, if you can't do like, so this is what you'd put in your checked luggage, but let's say you want more oils and you are, you know, wanting to have more of a selection. You want to try and get as many oils as possible onto your trip. So let me show you two options. I have someone ringing my doorbell. Give me a second. Okay, it's just the neighbor girl. Okay, so anyways, there are two options for if you want to get more oils. I'll show you which one I prefer and then which other people prefer, and you can kind of choose for yourself. So one way is to get one of these bags. Well, not bags. It's like a little case. It looks like a CD case. When you open it up, it's got these little foam slots that you can put oils on. And so what you can do is you can get one of these. This is a, I think this is a 5/8 dram. Yes, this is a 5/8 dram. I had to think for a second how big this one was. So what you can do is you can put as much oil in here as possible. This holds, gosh, probably close to 50 drops of oil. So, well, maybe not that much, maybe more like 20 or 30. But you can get a lot of oil in here, and you can take your little cap stickers and put it on there, and then you can just pop it into the little hole like that. This holds 48 oils, okay? So you can get a lot of oils in here. So you can use that, and then there's always these little zippers. You can put like A to Z guide or some sort of like handout that you need, or your Deep Blue rub packets and your toothpaste packets, like whatever you want to put in there. So that is one option, and they come in all kinds of colors. I just have polka dots here. Which, by the way, we may bring LRP Club back at the end of summer, and so this might be in one of the giveaways for that. Now, if you're like me and you can't decide what oils, and you want to bring big bottles because you never know, you know, I've been gone and I've gotten really sick and ended up with body aches or something, so I needed more oils and a lot more of them. And so some of you might actually recognize the jumbo case. So this case holds almost every single oil that we sell, okay? So it's got all these little openings, and then once this is totally full, you can still get bottles of oils into the spaces in between, and then I can put like the Deep Blue rub tube in the top, and there's a little zipper packet here to put like Deep Blue rub samples or toothpaste samples or whatever. So this is like the biggest case. If you go to Oil Life or Aroma Tools, this is called the, unless they change the name because it's not very compliant, the Dr. Mom essential oil case. It's canvas. They come in all kinds of different colors. You can also get one that's half the size, so it's a little bit more, well, less cumbersome, but this is what I use when I go on a road trip, okay? So this is my road tripping case. And so I just fill this up with all my oils, and I just stick it in the floor of the passenger seat, or sometimes it fits underneath the chair or under the passenger seat. So it's really not, it doesn't take up that much space for road trips. And you just never know what you might need. Okay, so let me go back to airplanes because I forgot to say this thing. I get a lot of questions about whether or not you can take your bottles of oil like through security and they get checked through the screen. There's actually no research that shows that that harms, I should say there's no research that proves that that harms your essential oils or causes them to oxidize, or I don't know, I've heard all kinds of crazy things. So you can rest assured, let your oils go through the belt. They don't need to be, you know, scanned differently or anything. So they can just go through. You're not going to ruin your oils that way. A little tip, if you are going through security at the airport, avoid or wait to use a lot of oils on your hands, because sometimes they do the little swab on your hand, because they do that randomly for people now. And so if you've got like, you know, fresh hand sanitizer on, or, you know, you just got done putting a bunch of oils on, then it might actually turn the color, or I don't know what it is that they're looking for, but it could like register as whatever explosive or whatever ingredient they're looking for, because it's just not a normal ingredient that would normally be on someone's skin, so it does kind of cause a little bit of an alert there. The other thing that I've heard is someone who put a bunch of oils on one location, like a bunch of Deep Blue on their knees or a bunch of Digest Zen on their belly. It can change whether the heat like of your body, because they're checking for that as well. So it can change that a little bit. So like I said, if you're going through security, just wait until you get through and you get all your stuff back, and then oil up for the airplane. It's not really that big of a deal just to wait a little bit longer. So those are the plane tips. The other, oh, I have one more. So when you're on the airplane, be mindful of the people on the airplane. As much as we love our essential oils, some other people are really sensitive to really strong fragrances. So one of the things that I do is, I don't have them with me, but the beadlets are really good. So if nausea or head pressure is something that you have a problem with, those little peppermint beadlets, because when you use one, it doesn't put the smell out like when you put it on your head. When the airplane is coming down and it's doing a lot of pressurization, I like to put Melaleuca behind my ear, and it's just a really mild smell. No one seems to be bothered by it. The oils that people are typically bothered by are the ones like the really strong fragrant ones. Like, you really don't want to be using the woody oils, or the really strong, don't overuse your peppermint. But you know, if you're feeling kind of icky or blecky, don't be afraid to grab that Digest Zen out, stick some on your belly, lift your shirt up, or put some on your tongue even. Another thing I've done is put it right there. And then the bone behind your ear, when you put Digest Zen on that, that's also really good for that nausea and that motion sickness. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out because I will tell you, every September, thousands of doTERRAists just, you know, come down into Salt Lake City, just thousands. There are like 25,000 of us last year, and there are tons of complaints from people on airplanes, and then some of them that are like, this is the best smelling airplane I've ever been on. So, you know, just be mindful of that. And don't forget to share your oils with the person sitting next to you. You just never know. They may be like, wow, I need these in my life. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of like travel, like out of the house field trip type of stuff. So this, okay, so for example, here in Kansas City, we have a place called Worlds of Fun. It's like an amusement park place. I haven't been in ages. In fact, I don't think I've been since I've been using doTERRA oils. It's been that long. So one of the things that I'm doing is I have like this little fanny pack. I know I'm so cool, but you know, they make cool ones now. So I have a fanny pack, and in that, I'm going to have Digest Zen. That's the only full bottle of oil I plan to have because, you know, roller coasters and tummies sometimes don't mix. So I'm going to have a full bottle of Digest Zen, but I'm not going to take this whole bag. This is heavy. I should say heavier. I don't think I want to carry this around all day. So I'll have Digest Zen. I will have deep blue packets, because when you're walking, whether you're wearing sandals or you're wearing tennis shoes with socks on, and they're really tight from all that walking, your feet start to get swollen or puffy, especially if you take them off for a little while to let your feet cool off. Put that deep blue rub on it, and that will really help to cool it down, make it feel more comfortable, and so you can keep going. So have those deep blue rub packets, the little packets that I showed you right here, have those on you. These are really easy to carry in a pack or something that you're camping in or hiking in, or you know, at the zoo with your kids and you want to pack light. So keep those. Digest Zen. I need to order some for our trip, but ginger. There's the new ginger drops, like they're like throat drops, but they're ginger candies, I guess. I'm not sure if they're candy, but you can get some of those and put those in your pocket for times when you have an upset stomach. And let's see, what was the other thing? Oh, the coconut oil. Oh, I know what I was going to show you guys. So I discovered, if you guys have the kids oils, you know, those little caps that are on them. Oh, I can't get it off now. It's pretty stuck. So they have the caps on them. They actually fit perfectly over the On Guard hand sanitizer and the TerraShield. And so you can hook these on your bag or on your belt loop or something like that. So I am planning, I'm not worried about TerraShield at an amusement park. There's usually no mosquitoes there. But if you're out camping or hiking, you're gonna want to have that, because the TerraShield, especially if you haven't ordered this in a few years, it has Arbor Vitae in it, so it lasts a lot longer and it's super potent. It keeps those bugs off of you. You can spray it around your pant legs, your shoes to keep the ticks from crawling up, or even the chiggers. But you definitely want to keep that one on exposed skin and around cuffs, basically. Oh, and collars, that's another one. And then the On Guard hand sanitizer. You guys know what this is for. This is like when you take your kids to the zoo and they go into the petting zoo and the goats lick all over their hands and there's nowhere to wash their hands anywhere. Use the On Guard hand sanitizer. As a mom, I carry baby wipes with me all the time, so I usually wipe them with that and then spray with this. So this is so cool. And so I actually have a lanyard on the side of the stroller handle. And so I just hook those on there, and then if the kids need some hand sanitizer, they just come along and pop that off, and voila, you don't actually have to unhook them. So I love that little hack. So there you go. Now we have because I don't know if you noticed, the kids' oil blends, these caps are not staying on them. So that's what I've discovered we can use them for. Okay, so I think that is all I have for you guys with traveling with essential oils. If I've missed anything, make sure you comment below and ask a question, and I can come back and answer it for you. And hopefully I didn't miss too much. And actually, let me go read some comments really quick to make sure. Oh yeah, and Lisa, you make a good point. So I mentioned it doesn't have to be a baggie. If you're traveling somewhere like, well, overseas, I'd go ahead and follow the rules and make it a clear bag, and that way, you know, they're not cutting any corners. I know here in the United States, every time I've traveled, I've used this bag. It actually stays in my carry-on. I don't usually get it out. It's zipped. They don't look at it. They don't even ask questions about it. But every location is different. You may have somebody that's like, what is that? They want to see it. Get it out. Let's look at it. They're not going to take your bottles of oil, okay? Your bottles of oil are well below the 4-ounce limit, or I'm sorry, 3.4-ounce limit. They are totally fine. If somebody's like, I don't know what this is, it's a great opportunity for you to educate them, because I guarantee you, you will not be the last person that comes through their line with essential oils, because we are taking the world by storm with these amazing drops of essential oil. So, you know, it's a great opportunity for you to be like, hey, it's essential oils. Have you heard of them? Just help them understand. It's medicine. And that's really the most important thing that they need to know. Okay. Like I said, if I missed something, just ask. If there is something that you saw and you don't know what it is, just ask. I'll answer your questions as they come along. All right. I hope everyone has a great night. And next week, we're going to be talking about, let me look. Oh, summer skin. Oh, I have some great tips for that. So summer skin is the topic next year, or next week. Not next year. Next week, we're going to talk about summer skin and making sure that it stays fresh and young and healthy in the sun and the humidity, or if your summer really dry, you know, to keep your skin healthy. All right, guys, have a great night.